The following stories are inspired by documented paranormal encounters. Some locations and identities may have been changed to protect the people involved. These stories may be disturbing for younger audiences, and listener discretion is advised. This podcast is based on true events.
Hey, I'm B, she, they.
Hi, I'm Brandon, he, him.
Hi, I'm Dahlia, she, they.
And this podcast is based on true events.
That might have been our best one this session.
They keep getting better sometimes, and then sometimes they don't.
So they don't keep getting better.
Sometimes
pretty
they're
inconsistent.
best. Sometimes they're worst, but all times us.
Mm-hmm. So
All
vibe,
times us.
All times us, yes. Vibe check. Who wants to go first?
I'll do it. Feeling good, feeling fine. I just finished that box of Mike and Eggs I've been working on the whole day, so probably not good for my pre-diabetes, but like, you know, it is what it is.
You only live once.
You only live once. I'm gonna have that be my only candy for today, though. I'll have it. Don't look at me like that. I'm setting a standard for myself here. I'm trying.
Okay. I'm saying we have a whole bucket down there.
We do have a whole bucket, but we have plenty of days to get through it.
Okay, I agree.
No, other than that, like...
He loves his candy, though.
Like, I fucking got my nose cleared out again, so I'm back to having one nostril. This is ridiculous, I gotta say. For you, it's been going on for a month, and honestly, if we get to the next recording session and I'm still like this, I might...
Sue?
I might sue. No, at the very least, I think I will go in and see what is going on. If it has anything to do with my work ripping those walls out, I may be like, hey... guys, we need to do something about this. You know what I mean?
Get you some money out of that.
Like, because it's not just me. It's been, like, other people in the office, specifically, like, the guy who is, like, I share an office with, because that's where the walls are being ripped out. And we actually have to move our desks, too, like, soon, because they decided instead of just replacing the carpet, they're tearing all of it up, including our attached office carpet, and they're putting down, like, hardwood paneling, which I don't think is a good idea because we have like dirty boots we're tracking in all the time, and we do not have cleaners that are mopping. So it's not gonna. It's just
gonna look foul.
It's gonna look bad. It's not gonna look good.
You guys are gonna be responsible for mopping up the boot prints every day.
It's ridiculous. If they want to put that into my like jobs, I'll do that. But like, it's just ridiculous. I really think the carpet is a better option, but I'm not the one paying for it. You know. So Oh well. Is what it is. However, we will be the ones having to move the desks out of the office, so that's going to be a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm. What about you? How you doing?
I'm cool. I'm chilling. I'm vibing. I'm here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The three best things.
There's a blunt at home waiting for me, as there usually is come this time of the month. And I'm ready to go home and go get that blunt.
Period.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Excuse me. Sorry. I feel like every recording session with us is just you counting down till you get the blunt at your house.
Yep, that's what I mean when I say at the same time every month.
I'm
just waiting for the blunt.
Well, I hope that's not all you do is count your time until you get to leave from here.
No, not at all. I enjoy my all-day sessions, especially because viewers may or may not know, especially if they've been here a while or not. I'm a house rat. I don't leave. I spend all my time at home with my kids. So getting these once a month outings where I'm actually out of my fucking house all day and I'm useful for something that isn't changing a diaper or being someone's juice bitch, I enjoy it very much.
Juice bitch is crazy.
Yes. Well, I am looking forward to my blunt. It's because it's been a long weekend, not because I'm ready to leave y'all.
That's
I promise.
Fair. I didn't take it that way for real. I want you to know that. I was just joking around, but that is nice to hear.
Guys, we know each other better by now. Shut up.
Right.
Well, listen, okay, but there's so many different flavors of neurodivergency in here that it's like, well, hold on, let me explain just in case.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate because I know, I don't think a single person in here isn't prone to overthinking.
Yep.
And like, especially when like someone's mood is a little off. Like, there's been times I thought B was mad at me. Like, there's been times I thought you were mad at me while we were like in between sessions, and then we get back and we're all good. I'm like, oh, okay, I think we're all right.
I constantly think everybody's mad at me, so there's that.
You have known me long enough that you should know that I just have chronic resting bitch face.
It has nothing to do with that. It had something to do with like, again, and you can't tell tone over text. It had something to do with like a perceived tone that I had.
Oh.
I mean, it was probably with one of the episodes we had to redo where like you weren't keen on doing it, and I was like, I hope they're not mad.
Oh
no, I know that, but there's always a little voice in my head going, hey, bitch.
Yep, I'm the same way, and that's why the wait, let me explain comes from.
Like
You guys don't have to explain what we gotta explain, okay?
Yes, we do. I'm autistic.
I am constantly having to argue with myself in my own head about the voice, about the things it tells me, because I'll hear I'll get thoughts like, "Oh, your friends may not like you," and they're like, "No, they like me. I know they like me. We have game nights all the time. Everybody has a great time. Hell, like our friend Lyndon just said that our house is his safe space. Why would I think that?" And like, while I know the logic, it doesn't always get rid of the feeling still, and that sucks. That part sucks.
Yep. And that's why I take fake serotonin.
Fake serotonin twins.
Yep.
We take the same medication.
Yep.
I'm microdosing serotonin by buying little trinkets even though I don't have the money.
Yeah, me too. It's okay. Yep. Me too. I just my vibe check. Hello.
Hi.
So my vibe check is episode or two ago, was it?
It was before last episode. I was surprised you didn't say anything.
Yeah, well,
right.
I'm talking about serotonin now.
Yeah.
I bought myself dolls. And if you know anything about me, is I like dolls. I like making dolls. I like having dolls. I like holding dolls. I like playing with dolls. Mm-hmm. I like dolls. Okay. Funnily enough, that is not why my name is Dalia. That is not something that I chose.
Right.
That was not at least conscious. I don't know, maybe in subconscious.
Right.
But yeah, I bought 2 dolls and they were $9 each at Walmart, which is fucking phenomenal. Because if you like dolls, you know those bitches are expensive.
These are cool. These are good dolls too. Yeah. They look really cool.
Monster High dolls are like $30 minimum.
What kind of dolls are these? Tell them about that.
They are. Sorry. Okay. They are Shiba-juku, yeah. And they are like based off of like Harajuku fashion
and Shibuya fashion
fashion,
like the street fashion from what I was reading.
Shibuya, and there's a lot more I need on here, by the way.
Hope there wasn't an incident there in Shibuya.
Yeah, me too. Now that I said that.
Oh no, you don't get it. It's a Jujutsu Kaisen thing.
Oh. Yeah, the Shibuya incident.
Yeah.
But I'm holding Akira right now. She kind of looks like Hatsune Miku, but
a little bit, yeah.
A little more goth.
We originally saw her at a toy store we were at when we were like on Valentine's Day, and this doll was like $19 there. Or, no, was it?
It was $25.
Was it $25? Okay, it was. I thought it was either $19 or $29, but $25.
So I had him look up the doll for me, and it was $9 at Walmart. So I was like,
So she got 2 for the price of the one that was being sold there. So like,
yeah, after shipping. I'm wondering where the other ones are because Walmart didn't have the other ones. Anyway, so my vibe check is I am really excited about my dolls.
Mm-hmm. It's the same serotonin I get whenever new like Sentai keys come in for my morphers. Mm-hmm. I'm a big like Super Sentai fan, as I probably led on to in episode 38, I think, where I was like Gozyuger is ending or just ended. But my favorite series is Gokaiger, and they have these little keys that go into the morphers that they used to turn into other rangers. And so Dalia got me that morpher, like the newest version of that morpher, for Christmas, and so I've been collecting keys. So every other week, or like once a month basically is all I really am able to spend on myself now. I buy myself some keys off eBay. Just a little section of them, or like a team of them if I can.
I think when I gave you that, you the next recording session we had after that, I think you told them all about the
I probably did.
morpher and keys and stuff.
I probably did.
So, yeah.
Hey, that was months ago.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Was it?
I sure don't remember.
Oh, I remembered. I thought. I don't know.
You're probably right, for sure.
But anyway, yeah, so I'm sure they probably recall. I'm glad you really like them.
Oh, I love them. So, are we ready for stories?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I have 2 today. And so usually when I do smaller stories, I just on like as a baseline, I don't really have intros for them. So I will just be jumping right into these. This first one, as told by the show My Horror Story, and I do want to preface this has a trigger warning for miscarriage. Okay? I know that can be a really, tough one for people, so just putting it out there. So as told by the show My Horror Story, I give you the tale, Bright Lights. San Diego, California, 2015. April Malloy lives by the beach with her husband, who worked as an attorney, and her daughter Abby, who was 2 at the time. The couple wanted another child, someone for Abby to grow up with, and decided that their current place just wasn't going to cut it. They decided to move a little further out to a little community in the foothills of San Diego. The roads there were windy, but the night sky was clear and filled with stars. April described it as, quote, or having, quote, a whole galaxy to look at. They thought that it would be the perfect home for them to raise their family. But right from the beginning, April noticed things that she had never experienced before in any of her previous homes. She said she would hear small noises around the house that would cause her to stop and try to hear more. A faint cracking sound, a low growl that was almost imperceptible. For the first few months, she tried to excuse everything as best as she could. Every house comes with its own noises, right? It would just take some time to get used to it. But then, things started to change more from hearing strange things to feeling them. April would feel vibrations that didn't make sense to her, and even feel the presence of someone or something in the room with her on occasion. She would wake up in the middle of the night and feel like she could just make out the sound of little sudden movements in the house, like someone was sneaking around in the dead of night. Sometimes, she would hear what sounded like what she assumed to be her daughter sneaking up to the side of her bed, only to open her eyes and realize that only her husband was with her in the room, laying sound asleep next to her. April begins to think that maybe the departed soul of a previous tenant may still be occupying the home with her family, but doesn't really have a problem with that idea. Soon enough, April and her husband find out that she is pregnant with twins. After that, April would find herself waking up more and more in the middle of the night. Every night, she claims that she was compelled to get out of bed and go downstairs. She would sit and stare out the window at the stars for about 20 minutes. During this time, she says she would always hear the sound of helicopters, but she was never able to actually see any in the sky. Not long after these midnight wanderings had begun, the nightmare started. At first, blinding bright lights overcoming April's eyes to the point that they would hurt. April would squeeze her eyes shut and notice that wherever she was freezing cold. Her body would freeze up, leaving her unable to move her arms or her legs. Something in her body would scream at her to wake up and to get out. Then, April would wake up in her bed, crying from fear. April starts dreading going to bed, physically preparing herself for the nightmares to come each night. One night, the fear was so strong that she wakes up feeling like she was going to have a heart attack. She shakes her husband awake, telling him how she's scared that something is in the house with them, and while her husband believes her and comforts her, there's not really much that they can do about it. One day, they go to the doctor to find that April is no longer pregnant. She's had a miscarriage. And in the midst of this tragedy for their family, April reports that the nightmares now started evolving. They started to grow more intense, more graphic. In one, April describes being laid down on a table in a bright room with faces looking down on her. As much as she tried, she couldn't focus enough for the faces to become clear. She remembers watching as a long, shiny object was inserted into her stomach. She could taste a fluid in her mouth. When she would wake up from this dream, her jaw would be hurting and she would sit in bed shaking and gagging. After some time passed, April learns that she is once again pregnant. But the happiness would not last. Another miscarriage. April begins to believe that the dreams may have something to do with the misfortune. One night, April wakes up in tremendous pain that she's never felt before and finds 3 small specks of dried blood on her sheets. Checking herself over, she finds that they came from 3 matching pinpricks on her abdomen. This freaks out April's husband, who takes some time off to try and do some research on what may be happening to his wife. He finds stories of other people online who have similar dreams to April and had decided to try regression therapy. April decides that may be a good course of action and books a hypnotherapy session. The hypnotherapist calmly talks April through the session, explaining to her that she's going to count backwards, and by the sound of her voice, she would be helping April's subconscious mind go back. April remembers hearing her say, "We're gonna go deeper," before finishing her countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The instant the hypnotherapist hit 1, April said that, like a flash, her mind was there. In the actual recording of the hypnotherapy session that they play on the show, April describes being on a cold slab of equipment similar to an operating room. The light is bright. Out of the corner of her eye, she sees 3 figures approach her with what she describes as blue-gray skin and giant eyes. As something held April's mouth open, liquid was poured into her mouth that made her gag. The figures examine her, touching her with their, quote, claws. April notes that the creatures don't have hands. She describes being incredibly afraid of these beings, and on the audio is very clearly distraught and terrified. Apparently, thousands of people have reported seeing these exact same beings while under regression therapy hypnosis. 3 weeks after the hypnosis, April finds out that she is pregnant again. This time, she has no faith that the pregnancy will last. But she's proven wrong when she gives birth to her son, Aston. At age 3, as of filming of this episode, April reports that he has a very unusual thing that he does weekly. Apparently, Aston will obsessively draw circles and dots and then proclaim them to be constellations that he shouldn't even know about yet. As far as I'm aware, April has reported no more dreams since the birth of her son.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me a lot of like past stories I've done. Like, I remember there was a dream and the liquid and the gray aliens.
Yeah. No, yeah. Thinking about that, you're right. These do seem to be similar things that come from like these kind of alien experiment or abduction tales, right?
Yeah. That's very, very interesting.
Yeah. What do you got? What are your thoughts on this, B? Anything?
So we just go to regression therapy to find out if we've been abducted by aliens?
I guess. I've also heard that it's very like any kind of hypnotherapy, it's kind of taken with a grain of salt sometimes because you don't know how like they could be influencing you in the way they ask things. From what I heard, it seemed like pretty fine, but you know, at the same time, if you really need to know something, you're like, I can't remember this, and it's not like she wasn't experiencing different signs already, right? Like, I would for sure try it just to see at the very least.
So is the theory that an alien impregnated her then?
I don't know.
If he's like, if the kid is like, knows these constellations and everything, is that like what they're hinting at?
I don't know. They didn't really seem to want to make a statement one way or another on that. I don't know. I guess for me, I'm like, maybe, but it reads more to me that whatever this is kind of like just influenced whatever, right? But I don't know. Like, ultimately, I have no idea. But it's just, at the very least, it's a very strange coincidence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready for some pictures then?
Yes.
Okay, so I've only got 2, and this first one, just run of the mill. This I am sending as soon as like I find the chat. There it is. This is April Malloy. This is the person who told the story and had this happen to her. And then the second one is the show's depiction of what she saw on that cold table during regression therapy. So this is kind of like how she was describing her vision.
Oh dear.
Damn.
So like very bright light, you can see the edges of these things like kind of out of focus. Any other thoughts on this story? It's a very, very strange one. It's only my second ever alien story that I've done. Like, I feel like we don't get a ton of those usually. All right, well, I have a second story. Are you guys ready to hear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Well, this is another one by Celebrity Ghost Stories, which we've covered before. And from last time, we can probably venture there are some decent stories in this show, but I may not go to it very often because of how much rooting around I have to do for a good story, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of times there's like short little encounters, and a lot of times it's just celebrities being like, I saw a ghost one time, or it's a celebrity that's like, I don't know about them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But as for this one is, like I said, as told by the show Celebrity Ghost Stories. I call this story The Scared and the Haunted. Okay. Actress Brenda Epperson starred in the Emmy Award-winning soap opera The Young and the Restless. Do you know it?
Yes, sorry.
Wait, isn't there a character named Erica on there?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know Mrs. 100 feet away from the mic. Is there?
There's a... sorry.
It's okay.
There's a character, named Erica on there.
Young and Restless, All My Children, that was my jam.
Really?
My mom
okay.
and I.
You may recognize her when I get her picture to you then. I don't know. I don't know what character she played, but Emmy-winning soap opera The Young and the Restless. After she and her first husband, Lorenzo Domani, got married in 1994, they found one of the most stunning houses that she had ever seen in her life. A 1920s architecturally gorgeous house in Southern California. But upon moving into the home, Brenda says that, quote, something shifted in the house. The only way she could describe it is that the house felt angry somehow. One night, as her husband is away working late, Brenda is awoken from a dead sleep at around 3 a.m. to the feeling of her bed shaking. Her immediate thought, living in California, is that it's a tremor or an earthquake, which are pretty common back then. This thought wakes her up, and she sits bolt upright in bed, only for the shaking to stop as she did so. Puzzled, she sits there looking around the room, and suddenly she feels the bed start shaking again. Looking up to the chandelier above her, she's shocked to see that it's not moving. If this was a tremor that she was experiencing, the chandelier would also be moving. But no, her bed is the only thing moving in the room. She's frozen in fear, trying to figure out why this is happening, when all of a sudden, right in front of her, she watches as a black shadow shoots across the floor from one end of her room to the door on the other side. The moment the shadow reached the door, it flew open. Terrified, Brenda jumps up and flips on the light switch, only to find nothing. Nobody else in the room. She looked at her bed. That had stopped shaking as well. Not knowing what else to do or even how to process any of this, she closes and locks her bedroom door, jumping back into bed with all the lights still on and pulling the covers up over her head. The next day, Brenda tells Lorenzo what had happened, and he just kind of laughs it off. Brenda, however, is left feeling really unsettled by the incident. Soon after, Brenda gives birth to her daughter. She and Lorenzo hire a nanny to watch the baby during times that they can't be home, and one night, the couple go out to dinner. They hadn't been gone for maybe 40 minutes when they suddenly got a call from their alarm company telling them that their alarm was going off. Brenda immediately calls the nanny, only to be met with the nanny just crying repeatedly over the phone. They immediately run out of the restaurant and drive home, and when they get there, they find the nanny crying on the floor of the nursery next to the crib. When they got her calmed down enough to speak, the nanny told them that while she had been walking down the main hallway earlier with the laundry, every single door in the hallway burst open all on their own at the exact same time. And judging by the fact the alarm went off, it seemed like all the doors to the outside also seemed to open. She then said that she felt something grab tightly onto her arm. And when she was able to break free, she ran into the baby's room where the daughter was asleep in her crib and just buried her face in the floor out of fear, crying until the couple got home. This nanny said that she thought the house was haunted and said that she would never be coming back. Not long after this incident, Lorenzo was away from home working on a project. Brenda gets out of bed at around 10 or 11 o'clock at night to get herself some water. And as she opens the door to the kitchen, she suddenly becomes filled with fear. Standing there in the dark, she can't seem to pinpoint the reason for this feeling. She flips on the light, but finds nothing else in the kitchen. It's empty. She opens the fridge to grab a pitcher of filtered water, but as she grabs it, she swears she can feel somebody standing behind her. She spins around, but sees no one. Deciding to hurry back up to her room, she shuts the fridge door when, boom! Everything starts flying off the walls in the kitchen. Brooms and mops fly off of the rack towards her. She takes off up the stairs. Brenda decides to stop by her daughter's room to check on her and thankfully finds her asleep. But as she stands there looking down at her daughter, she feels it again. A presence, like someone was looking over her shoulder. She turns and comes face to face with the form of an old man. She describes this man as feeling, quote, evil and nasty, and said that it looked like he wanted to hurt her. This can't be real. This can't be real, she thinks as she shakes her head and tries to blink away the visage in front of her. Suddenly, the man vanishes right before her eyes. Brenda grabs her child out of her crib and runs back to her room. She calls her husband and says that she absolutely cannot live there in this house anymore. Eventually, Lorenzo gives in, and the couple puts the house up for sale once again. Brenda says that later on, she discovers the history of the house. A man named Hugo Alessi once owned the property in the 1920s. He was famous for creating a chain of restaurants simply called Hugo's. And, well, when the Great Depression hit, Hugo lost everything. All of his money, and he had to abandon the home, which sat empty for 5 to 8 years after that. Squatters came in, transients took refuge in the home, and one of these men had was apparently murdered by another during that time for unknown reasons. With this in mind, Brenda can 100% see the reason behind the angry male spirit that she encountered in the home. Brenda says that while she believes beyond a shadow of a doubt now that ghosts walk amongst the living, she has a healthy respect for the fact that they shouldn't be messed with.
Okay.
So yeah. It's a decent story. Not too much involved. Definitely some things happening. I can only imagine being that rich to, because we've seen people experience way worse things than that and not be able to leave their home.
Right. Yeah.
So imagine being privileged enough and able to just be like, okay, I saw something, we're moving. That's it. We're done.
Who was the celebrity again?
Brenda Epperson. That is actually my only picture that I have today, so I will go ahead and send that now in the group chat. B, you're into soap operas. Let me know if you recognize this person.
I do, but I couldn't tell you what character she played.
Okay. I know she's in The Young and the Restless. Hold on. Brenda Epperson.
Ashley Abbott is the character's name.
Oh, cool. You found it way quicker than I could. Good. All right, so Ashley Abbott from The Young and the Restless. I know my grandma Eve, before she passed, was really, really into soap operas. So I wonder if this is this is definitely one that she's watched before, actually thinking about it. This is one that she used to watch all the time. All right, yeah. They're just a couple smaller stories. That first one, I think, was way freakier than this one. However, that's still not fun stuff to experience in this past episode, or in this past story, right? All right, any final thoughts before we move on to Dalia's story today?
I'm good.
I don't think so, no.
Cool. Well then, honey, take it away.
Okay. Well, there seems to be a common theme for me during this recording session, because I'm going to preface this encounter, this allegedly to encounter, by saying that we have actually heard from this user before. Yeah, a lot of theming this past month of episodes. Very recently, actually. As recently as the last episode with the 2 stories. They were the same author, weren't they? 3, yep. So, okay, 3 in a row from you from the same author. I see. All right.
Don't tell me this one was posted November 4th, 2010.
No.
Okay.
So these next encounters, you heard that right, plural, are the reason why I began deep diving on this user in the first place.
Right.
So without further ado, let's get into it. They titled this encounter The House with a Million Eyes.
Great.
It's once again by 22A. Actually, okay, so if you remember, it was Aya 22. Now it's 22Aya. I had to, like, back search their name and, like, find them because they had deleted their account.
Dang.
But I was able to find the encounters and stuff like that. So, some work was put in. All right. So this was posted on March 14th, 2011. The country of origin is the United States. The state, it's a different one again. It's Pennsylvania. Paranormal category, apparitions, voices, touches.
Man, they weren't kidding when they said they move around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, cool.
This experience happened many years ago and may be unbelievable to some, but I can assure you that what happened within this house was a true experience of mine and other family members. While living there, it was like something straight out of a horror movie, but far worse. This was real, and there was no escape from it. Since it was a horror house we all had to return to at the end of the day. However, I may have to break this up into smaller parts to spare anyone from reading a long account. That doesn't pertain to us because I'm reading all of it, baby.
Right.
I don't tell people I know, even those I am close to, and anything about the paranormal side of this house. Anyway, here we go. I was still just a little girl when my mom and stepdad got married and decided to move to the East Coast. My stepdad's job was in New York City, but my mom, who had always lived in the country, decided it would be better for us if we avoided the quick-paced urban hustle and bustle. So they began their house hunting search in the forested rolling hills of Pennsylvania. They searched through countless houses, but eventually my mom's heart was set on just one. It had been deserted for years, until now. They both loved it, but for some reason unknown to me, I detested it from the beginning and desperately tried to convince them to keep searching. It just had a weird feeling to it, like something wasn't right about it. How many times have we heard that?
Plenty.
This is from a different user than the ones we heard that from, but...
Right.
In fact, it felt very, very wrong. Every time I walked alone into the empty house, I'd get that prickly feeling on the back of my neck, and every minute hair on my body stood on end. My mom thought my uneasiness was due to me getting used to her new husband, but I assured her it was the house. Of course, she didn't believe me, and this caused an increasing rift between me and her. In her world, her house was perfect. Things started slowly at first. Things progressed from the house, making me feel as if I wasn't welcome, to the feeling of constantly being watched with a piercing gaze by something unseen. Wherever I went, I felt like I was surrounded by things lurking in the corners. There was no relief from that sensation since it followed me everywhere. My adrenaline often caused me to leap out of my skin after I'd open doors because there would be the startling sensation that something was waiting behind it. Strangely, I couldn't physically see it, but every cell in my body knew something was there in front of me. It felt horrifyingly menacing. I could always feel the very real threat of it around me, as if it were a snarling dog standing with teeth bared. Over time, the black shadows began to appear, even during the day. There were many of them. Out of the corner of my eye, I could always see them watching and moving around. I'd get that feeling of being watched, so I turned my head to look and see black masses slowly fading away. I should mention that my brother only lived with us for less than a year. The tensions between my brother, my mom, and my stepdad grew to be so intense that after only several months, my mom made my brother move across the country to live with my dad. I asked him if he'd ever noticed anything strange about the house. He told me that sometimes at night he'd have nightmares and wake up to the sound of growling within his room. I guess that explains why my brother always stayed up at night with his lights on. I knew he stayed up because several times I'd wake up to the sound of dishes moving around, cupboards opening and closing, and the sound and the sink turning off. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, guys.
You're right.
And on late at night. To investigate, I'd often check on my brother and always see his bedroom light on, so I dismissed the kitchen ruckus as my brother getting a late night snack or something. But it wasn't my brother. Not this time. After he moved out, I'd still wake up hearing sounds coming from the kitchen. The sink would repeatedly turn on and off. Cupboards slammed, dishes moved around, and even sometimes I'd hear them shattering on the tile floor. Some nights my mom would come into my room and yell at me for not being in bed. She never believed me, even though every night of every week I was always in bed. I was way too terrified to investigate the sounds anymore, since now I undoubtedly knew it couldn't have been my brother. After he left, it was like the floodgates had been released. He had been the lucky one because he got the chance to leave. I was suddenly alone. My parents didn't believe me about the house, and every time I tried to convince them that something horribly wrong was happening inside of it, it only created a greater rift between us. I blame what was in the house for pushing my brother away, and for almost everything else that happened thereafter. However, my mother eventually believed, and that's where they stopped that post.
Okay.
Part 2. After my brother moved away, I was left all alone to contend with what was going on inside of our house. Before he left, I'd had the pleasure of his company whenever my parents were away on errands or out of town. But now that he was gone, and when my parents left the house for a while, I was completely alone. Or at least kind of. I think you know what I mean. While my parents were out of the house, I'd spend that time having the TV all to myself. Since I was still just a little girl, having the TV all to myself was a rare occasion. So I'd quickly grab a soda and whatever snack food I could reach and nestle down in front of the TV for a few hours. One day, while I was watching TV, the boombox radio upstairs suddenly turned itself on at maximum volume. I nearly jumped out of my seat, but got up the courage to go upstairs and investigate. Of course, it felt eerily as if I was being watched while I made my way up the stairs. When I got to the top of the landing, my first reaction was to turn down the manual volume of the radio to something I could bear to stand next to. Then, after turning it off, I looked around in all the rooms to see if someone was playing a trick on me. Obviously, no one was there. So, I made my way back downstairs, feeling watched the whole time, and settled back into my seat. No more than maybe a few commercials later, the radio suddenly turned itself on again at maximum volume again. Okay, now I was just plain annoyed. I marched back upstairs, and this time I completely unplugged the thing. I checked the volume one more time, and to my astonishment, it was set back on the maximum volume again. This was just one example of the goings-on when I was home alone. The radio incident repeated itself many other times after that day. Other times, while I was home alone and walking around the house, I'd often hear people whispering upstairs. It was never audible enough to ever completely make out what they were saying, but once in a while it was audible enough to know they were talking about me, or to me. I never really figured that out. However, there was one incident where I absolutely knew they were trying to speak to me. Again, my parents were gone and I was alone inside the house. I had actually watched my mother drive away that day, as I was doing my usual parents are gone routine of watching the TV and eating whatever snack I could physically reach to the tips of my toes. Slowly, from outside the room, I heard this faint whispering sound. It got louder. Out of curiosity, I turned down the volume of the TV, and then I heard it call out my name in a long, drawn-out kind of way that made it every small hair on my body stand completely on end. Was I utterly scared out of my mind? You bet I was. It resembled my mom's voice, but I had seen her pull out of the driveway that day. I didn't dare react to it. And then I heard it again, but this time louder. Again, it called out my name, all drawn out and whispery like, Yet, the downright craziest, most petrifying aspect of this experience was that the voice sounded inviting. It felt like I was being invited to go see something. I think the most important lesson I learned from that experience was that every instinct in my body screamed at me not to react with this thing, or things. After the moment passed, I said a quick prayer to myself and resumed watching TV as if nothing had happened, besides closing the door and staying in there until my mom came back. I apologize for these accounts being as long as they are. Furthermore, I apologize for having more than this second part to share, but if I were to share this all at once, it would be way too long for even me.
Okay.
Part 3.
Oh, okay.
Trigger warning at the brief mention of a hanging. The house had a constant feeling of being sinister and threatening, yet nothing had turned into such a feeling of plight until I moved downstairs into my brother's old bedroom. Until then, I had not fully experienced that insurmountable fear and dread. Upstairs in my old bedroom, the most of what I had been subjected to was to witness odd shadows repeatedly walking up and down the stairs at night, hearing whispers and having my name being called, and random objects moving in my bedroom before my very eyes. But downstairs was where my brother used to stay up all night, and also woke up to the sound of growling within his own room, as I explained in the previous accounts of this. In that room, I was constantly plagued with nightmares of people screaming at me. I'd wake up very late at night and look over my shoulder to view the time on my bright red alarm clock. Yet I'd witness solid black shadows blocking the view of it. I'd also see multiple shadows standing over me as I lay in my bed, literally surrounding me. Although I was growing older into a teenager, I still slept with the blankets covering my head every night so as to not see them. Nighttime was the worst. There was pounding on the walls and furniture of my room as if a million spinning fists roved about. I never experienced the growling like my brother had, yet on several occasions I'd hear low, heavy breathing within the corners of my room. If I also had left any water glasses on the furniture, I'd hear them slide across the wood and being repeatedly picked up and slammed back down. Terror held me, gripped me to my bed, yet steadily over time, these things became such common occurrences that eventually I was able to sleep through them. The daytime was better, but not by much. On the stairs, I felt an incredible pressure or weight as something bore down on me, breathing on my neck. I never slowly went up or down them. I always ran so I could avoid the spirit on the stairs. Then one day I heard my mother running down the stairs in the same fashion that I did. She approached me where I was in the kitchen and told me how she felt as if something had been trying to push her at the top. She then asked me if I had ever felt that overwhelming feeling of sheer hatred in that part of the house, like something bearing down on us. Finally. You have no idea how oddly happy this made me feel, because finally I wasn't the only one who noticed the strangeness about our house. I never confided this in her, but whenever I went up or down the stairs, I'd get an image in my head of someone hanging themselves off of them. To this day, I can still remember that image, like a flurry of dark shadows, but one in particular dropping, and then snap. I'd feel hands gripped around my neck like someone choking me. My mother also began to confide to me that she felt this as well, and for once we were finally experiencing the same things. One day, when I was downstairs completing my chores while my mom blow-dried her hair upstairs, she suddenly stopped and came crashing down the stairs at the speed of lightning. Her eyes were wide as discs, and within a few seconds she already had her car keys in her hand. She yelled for me to get in the car. We were going for a drive. It wasn't until we were an hour away when she finally opened up. She told me that while she was in her bathroom doing her hair, she felt as if something was right beside her, and all the hairs on her neck and arms stood on end. She finally admitted that she believed me about the house. She proceeded to tell me about how my stepdad's name had been called out at night and how something had grabbed his arm while he laid in bed. She explained her theories to me that these were tests of our faith. She believed if we continued to ignore it and live our lives normally that the problem would wash itself away. Yet, if that were really true, then my mom would have been failing her own test. We had stopped going to church, she'd begun doubting what she believed in, and she had also began drinking, whereas before she never drank. She began slipping into a deep pit of depression, and soon would I. Before we knew it, we both changed. The true nightmare hadn't begun yet. But before I make any dark illusions as to how things worsened for us, I must say that because of these experiences, I believe I am better for it. Not because we went through it, but from what I learned of it. Next of what I have to tell is very personal, and I only share these because someone else might be going through the same thing. So, after the 3 parts, I'm going to call her Aya, or Aya.
Sure.
Because that's the username. Aya's account fell silent.
Oh?
Or at least that's what users thought.
Okay.
As I was browsing yourghoststories.com, this 4th part is the first that I discovered. This one I'm about to read here.
Sure.
And I had only found it by back searching their username and finding out parts 1 through 3 were posted on a completely different account.
Okay.
So 9 months later, Aya returned with the chilling 4th part of her encounter in The House with a Million Eyes, part 4.
9 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Hey, I apologize for the extended absence, especially because of exactly when I decided to drop off the radar. To a lot of you reading this, something like that might discredit everything I've shared and am about to share. I have accepted that, so I won't be embarrassed or offended. To clue those in who are newer to this site, I was sharing a, to me, very personal account of my childhood home. The memories I have of that place are deeply black for many reasons. Because of how long it turned out to be, my story became several submissions, and just before I promised to submit the last one, I quit and fell off the radar. But something lately prompted me to remember that house, as well as the fact I just abandoned my own personal project. Maybe it was Halloween and all the stories that surround the month of October. Or perhaps it was just the smell of crisp autumn leaves everywhere that reminded me of those breathtaking autumns and the Poconos? Is that right? Poconos? Yeah. Then again, within the past few months, someone very close to me has opened up to believing in ghosts and their own experiences, even when I thought they were firmly in denial of such things. It's funny how almost everyone in my circle of friends and family has opened up to having experiences, but somehow can't open up to believing them or talking about them. I guess I understand their reasoning, though. No one wants somebody to think that they're crazy. And like the idiom, speak of the devil and he doth appear. I want to try and break that habit and not suppress what's happened or what comes natural. The last time I started to open up and reflect on this next experience, I noticed some very strange things happening within our home. Back then I don't understand it or make any connections, but now I see there might have been a relation. Maybe. I need to get this darkness off my chest and finally understand it. So here it goes. Sorry, she said, we'll try to write this without sounding like a complete wackadoo. I left off in the last submission of explaining how I'd moved into the downstairs room, and the result being in that my personal terror only got worse. My mom had finally admitted to believing me about the evil within the house. But honestly, it didn't last long. She introduced me to the method of just simply ignoring it. Like a bird putting their head in the sand. If I can't see you, you can't see me. I tried this method too, but it only made things worse. I soon noticed that over time, the level of intensity within the house only grew and grew. All of us began to hate one another and feel only distrust. Our personalities changed drastically. There were many times when I relished the sickly feeling of succumbing to that seductive hatred. That was a lot of words there. Believe me, I'm downplaying this. I taught myself to play the piano at a young age, and by now I was only playing sounds that were very dark. Looking back on it now, I can see now that there were very human, non-paranormal elements adding to all this, making it worse. But it probably didn't help us that, I believe, there was another element present within the house, sucking up our energy and wanting more. There were times when I'd look into the, fevered eyes of the people I thought of as parents and wondered why they changed so much. Why they had stared and grinned maliciously. A lot has happened within this house, and I'm sure I left a lot of events out as there's simply so much. But the few months before I decided to move unfolded only worse encounters. My mom refused to talk about our haunted situation anymore, so I was left alone to contend with it again. Now for this next incident, if I read a story, if someone speaking to me claimed to have experienced this, I'd have a hard time accepting it. Probably because I'd think they were joking with me, if not just confused. I assure you that this is not made up, but I have been confused about it ever since it happened. I've already ruled out that this was simply just a dream. I was fully awake while this occurred. This happened only a couple of weeks before I finally made the decision to move out. For some reason, I felt more vulnerable than I ever did sleeping on my bed and resigned myself to sleeping on the futon in my room instead. The wall at my back made me feel deceptively safer. After I comfortably tucked the blankets in around me, I leaned back to switch the light off. That's when it started. Wham! The very second the light flicked off, I was immediately hit with the sudden sensation that an entity was literally face to face with me, not even centimeters away. My heart felt like it jumped into my throat, and every natural instinct screamed that it was there. I blinked into the darkness, not seeing a thing. But in my mind's eye, I saw something very, very different. It was clear and harassingly abrasive. I saw the pale face of a wild man with feverish eyes and a wicked grin, but far more noticeable was the whipping body of a large snake that had trailed directly behind his head. Ooh. I dove underneath the covers, and it was like all I could hear and feel his laughter all around me. I don't pretend to know who he was, but I know within my soul that he hated me beyond any human hatred I could fathom. It felt like being mentally and emotionally attacked and invaded from all sides, overwhelming me. And he meant to do me harm. I knew it. That message was clear enough. I clasped my hands together and began to pray desperately for several minutes. It gave me courage. I came up from the covers, looked about my room, and smiled. I had managed to live with and blatantly ignore everything that has happened so far. This thing had finally shown its true nature, but I wouldn't display a fear of it. As an act of almost defiance, I lied down, closed my eyes, and soon after fell asleep. I still felt highly unnerved, but I had an extra feeling of reassurance with me. However, my peace didn't last long. I don't know when this happened or how soon it occurred after I fell asleep, but later that night I woke to terrible screams and growling. I tried to sit up, but my entire body was frozen. I couldn't move, not even so much as open my eyelids, so I was forced to listen to the myriad of noises in my room. I heard growling, screaming, someone yelling. Throughout all of this, I thought I heard someone screaming for help. I'm not sure if it was I yelling that because it sounded so distant. I also heard loud rushing, like the sound of a hurricane taking place within my very room. Beneath the rushing, I could barely make out someone talking with a faraway voice. It sounded like broken fragments of a conversation. I thought I heard someone asking who they were, or saying they didn't know who they were. That part has always confused me, so I can't say for sure I heard it 100% correctly. But as I sat listening to the chaos, I very soon realized the ultra creepy fact that my mouth was moving, but I wasn't doing it. There were conscious thoughts going on in my head, but my mouth was moving. Strangely, I had no control over it like the rest of my body. And then, as it seemed, the screaming, growling only increased to an all-new intensity. In an instant, it all stopped. My room became eerily silent. My mouth was no longer moving, and suddenly, I realized the rest of me could move again, but didn't dare to. A part of me wanted to reach back and turn the light on, but the rest of me was too afraid of what I might actually see. I could sense the aftermath of what had just happened still lingering in my room, like smoke after a fire. Other than that, I was utterly confused and knew nothing better to do than pray once more and try to fall back asleep. My reaction sounds stupid when written down, but there was literally nothing else I felt to do. So they go on, and there's another long paragraph, but essentially it's them saying they think the house is haunted and that they understand why people can be skeptical, but
sure.
It's that kind of thing, just over explaining themselves. So I'm just going to spare that because this was a very long one.
Right.
So tell me what your thoughts are.
Damn
is right.
It's a lot. Like both fucking emotionally and like in length in general, but like shit, I can't stand people's thought process of like, yes, this is obviously happened, we gotta ignore it. Ignore it, it'll go away. That's never an answer for it. That has never helped. That's never done anything.
Yeah.
Like, especially, I can imagine how especially like hard it is after like you finally got your mom to like admit like, yeah, I'm seeing stuff too, and then she's like, fuck it, we're not talking about this anymore. It's like you just went backwards in progress.
Yeah.
I also can't imagine like having to go back to the house like every night and like being nothing you can do about it because you're a child, you know? It's wild that it took 9 months for part 4 to happen.
Yes, it did.
That's insane.
That's a whole baby.
Yeah, for real.
That's a whole baby. Baked in the oven.
Yep.
And the fucking face with the snake body. Ugh. Cardiac arrest. Like, at what point, like, and they're right, it's like, it sounds weird, but like, what can you do but I guess just try to go back to sleep, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking that whole time, is like, at what point is that, like, what do you do? Like, at what point do you just have to either learn to live with it or, like, unfortunately have, like, some kind of, like, exit from it? You know what I mean? Like, in one way or another, I don't know. Huh?
Correct.
And, like, you always hear about, like, you always hear the stories where it's like, yeah, this was bad, but then like someone came in and I was able to like live with somebody else. But like that's not the reality for most people. They just kind of have to live with it. Mm-hmm. Like we had a story like Homecoming a couple episodes ago where like the narrator Kathy or whatever, the lady Kathy whose house was haunted, that's just how she had to live her entire childhood. That's, oh man. My heart goes out to those people. That's like that must do such a number on your nervous system, like just being on high alert all the time for something that you can't really do anything about. You know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely.
You pretty much just described PTSD.
Yeah. Like, I wonder how many people have PTSD from like haunted, like paranormal experiences.
I'm sure it's a good number.
Like, yeah, that's crazy. Damn. No, that was a good one. That was a good long one. That had a lot happening in it.
Yeah.
Like, it was chock full. Like, there wasn't a single time where, like, something wasn't happening almost.
So I have 3 photos today.
Okay.
This first one here, give me a second. If you remember towards the beginning of the story, OP was talking about shadows, like in the corner of their eye and stuff like that. And that's something that I know I've experienced.
Sure.
They would just disappear.
Yeah.
I felt that this photo that I'm sending represented that pretty well. It's not necessarily what it was supposed to represent, I'm sure, from where I got it.
Right.
But like that's just the kind of shit you see and you're like, what was that?
Right.
Right. And then my second one, I'm really interested to see what you guys think about this. I'm gonna send it and I'm gonna see if you guys know what it is.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
It's like, I'm waiting. It's coming. Any day now.
I already sent it, so if you haven't received it, I don't know.
Oh, there it goes.
That
does not make it any better.
That does not make it any better. That's like a Japanese, like, not like a...
Yokai.
Not like yeah, it's a yokai.
So it's called Nure Onna, or Wet Woman. It's a Japanese...
Why is it gotta be wet?
Yeah. It's a
no comment, actually.
Yeah.
A Japanese yokai which resembles a reptilian creature with the head of a woman and the body of a snake.
And so the body of a wet.
It's not necessarily what it was, right? It didn't, like, that's...
Sure, but no, that definitely gets the point across, for damn sure.
Yeah.
So the Nure Onna, they are also seen as a paranormal phenomenon at sea under the same name of Nuri Yomejo, I believe is how it's pronounced. I could have butchered that.
Okay.
In legends, they are often said to consume humans, but they have no single appearance or personality.
I see.
Yep. Are you ready for the third one?
Mm-hmm. You ever wonder if... Sorry, that just got me thinking. You ever wonder if, like, like spirits or folkloric creatures from other continents make their way into... like other areas of the world and are just known by different names and stuff?
Sure, yeah.
Because, like, what if, like, what was seen is something, like, akin to this, like, wet woman type deal? Like, just almost migrate. I don't know.
I'm sure there's something, but I can't think of anything right now.
No, I'm sure there's something, but...
So I'm going to go ahead and send
go
this
ahead,
here.
sorry.
No, you're good. Okay, so... Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So, this picture is a hand-drawn photo. I wasn't able to find the artist. I'm gonna look into that, and then, honey, I'll let you know if I find it, so you can add credits.
Yeah.
So it's a depiction of sleep paralysis, which is similar to what OP experienced, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last part of their fourth part.
Yeah.
When they couldn't move. I thought it was a really cool depiction.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. I've never personally experienced sleep paralysis, but I know my dad has, and I know we have plenty of friends who I know have before as well, and nothing about it sounds pleasant whatsoever.
Yeah. So it could have been sleep paralysis, or it could have
been something
paranormal. So,
and that's another thing is, like, it's so hard to know if, like, this is just my brain doing bad brain thing, or if this is, like, legitimately paranormal, because in some aspects I believe they can influence each other, you know? You can't see it, but they're nodding along.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I got to stretch, so I'm leaning back.
All right. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a wild one. All right. Any other thoughts from you, B? No?
No thoughts, only vibes.
All right. No thoughts, only scares. All right, well then, it is your turn.
My turn?
How you finishing us off today?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Brandon, you have to stop saying it like that.
So, this story comes from the subreddit Wholesome Stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was just super sweet. OP has titled the story, A Man and a Cat. One of the things my father's always got right was how to act around animals. It's magic to see him work around them. Animals don't necessarily trust him, but he trusts them. He always seemed so careful around them, like he understood their needs. Chicken came up to him for rubs, sheep and even geese liked his company. The old family cat, by the name of Chippy, who now spends her days snoring in front of the fireplace, was once a fierce and wild beast, an unapproachable wild animal that carved some of the most beautiful scars I have. 14 years ago, we got her from the shelter, where she had already hurt every volunteer who held her. The lonely kitten with unending anger who bit and scratched all the time. She was wild, and I took too long to realize that. My father, however, always kept his distance. He never bit, never got scratched. One day, after 8 long years, Chippy started being sick. She lost her energy, lost weight, and became just a ghost of her old self. Her bites were soft nibbling, and all she could muster were low, weak grumbling. My father got her to the vet, who was meaner than the cat, and who dreaded her yearly visit. After examining the frail beast, she declared, "She has a tumor. It's going to eat her away. Now we can try and remove it, or you can try again with a nicer kitty. One that'll deserve the care you give out." Yeah, fuck that bitch.
Hey, yo.
Yeah,
No.
fuck that bitch.
No, fuck no.
Fuck that bitch.
The way I'm swinging.
Yeah.
Like
Fuck
excuse
that
me?
bitch. Yeah. My dad didn't respond, only nodded and paid his dues. His mind was set. We never leave anyone behind. A few days later, her surgery was scheduled. I nursed Chippy, tried to get her to drink, to eat, to keep her out of the heat of the sun. It felt like I was holding a bag of bones. The surgery came and my father was honest. A cat that's already old could not handle the anesthesia well. He warned us that the tumor may come back, that infections existed. But he insisted that we were doing that for her. He said, if I was her, I'd want people to take care of me. 8 years old is too short of a life. Obviously, that stubborn beast made it. The exact moment she drowsily walked into the living room after she got back, we all felt like a switch flipped. She made her way onto the couch and curled up right beside my father like she never did before. She started to trust us, accepted pets, asked for food, asked for pets. Chippy was still her old, grumpy self, but had welcomed us into her circle. My father especially became safety incarnate for her. She'd run to him every evening when he came home and started laying down on his shoulders during breakfast. She'd scream for him to get her food and would hide behind him in front of guests. A few years later, my father got sick. Inexplicable pain that his doctor dismissed as migraines. He couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, barely could drink. It lasted 23 days before we brought him into the ER. He had a tumor that was eating his brain away. However, he did not make the choice for it to be removed, as he was about to die from it. He lived through his operation, battled through recovery, and got home with chemo. The very day he stepped into the living room, Chippy was waiting patiently for him, laying down on the couch's armchair. As he sat down, she sniffed his hand, and when she had confirmation that her favorite person was back, she headbutted him. She got up, stretched, and cuddled against him, the same way she did when she was the one coming back. Every day now, as my dad sits down with his cup of coffee, the old tiger softens up and comes up to cuddle. She gets up on his lap and makes a comfortable little loaf of herself, all while staring at him, and she purrs. She purrs so loud he can't even hear the TV sometimes. My dad is going through everything with so much strength, and I like to believe that every day some of that strength is generated by an old tiger, curled up on his lap, purring as hard as she can. I believe she knows he's as sick as she was and does her best to soothe him.
Damn.
Yeah.
As owners of, like, you know, a cat who recently had to go, like, to some pretty serious vet stuff, that hits real hard, like real hard. Man, we don't deserve cats. We really don't. Like, animals in general can be so loving and caring. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy to me.
I know I did my job because Dalia is crying currently.
Yeah.
I love you. She keeps flipping me off.
But no, yeah, that's nice.
I'll throw a picture in here real quick to try to change some things up here. So Chippy, the name Chippy, means like mischievous.
Does it? Okay.
Right? So this is I forget what the hell this little like thing the show was called. You'll recognize it when you see it. But this is Madam Chippy from the show.
Okay. Oh, I don't remember what that's called at all.
No, but you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Can't think for the life of me what the hell it's from.
Little Miss something, right?
Sunshine?
Sunshine, is it? Let's Google Little Miss Sunshine. Nope. That's a movie.
Oh, it's just called Little Miss. It's a book series.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, okay, so I was right. I was just full on right.
Yep.
Just when I said Little Miss.
Little Miss. See, I kept calling it a show. It's a damn book. My bad.
Right.
Close enough.
No, yeah, it's a book series. Oh yeah.
But that's Madam Chippy.
A chippy in Britain is also some kind of fry dish. And I say dish very loosely because
chippy in this context with this definition is the British version.
Well, man, they can't even use their own words properly. Damn. Sorry, that was probably mean, but sometimes you have it coming. As an American, I can say as an American, I can say that because a lot of times we have it coming too.
Yeah.
So like I get it.
But don't touch our boats.
Our boots?
Our boats.
Our boats?
Boats. Don't touch our boats.
I don't understand.
You won't.
No, I won't, I guess. Is this a war joke? Is this a...
Yes, it's a war joke.
I see.
The Americans tend to stay out of things until you touch our boats.
Oh.
And then
I guess that does make sense,
That's when the the outrageous weapons come out. There's a fucking black Dorito that we have that's worth more than some countries' GOPs. It's ridiculous. Why do we have this much money to spend on those things?
We don't. It's all borrowed.
That's true.
It's
You're
literally
right.
all borrowed.
It's fake money.
And some people think that like, oh, it's just because we're so great. It's like, man, no. We are borrowing things with credit.
We're in debt.
And if
we're moochers.
It's like, oh, America could go on its own. No, because then our debtors won't let us do more.
Yep.
We're out.
We'll be cooked.
Not to get political, but we are kind of like...
We're pretty cooked.
We're pretty queer here, and being queer is just kind of political.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unfortunately, I wish it could just be normal, but, you know. But nobody understands us.
You know it's bad when you look back and George Bush seems like he wasn't that bad.
No, for real.
I miss when it was like Mitt Romney versus... Was it Mitt and Bush?
Someone said I mish.
Was it? Hold on.
I don't know who...
Was Mitt Romney against Obama or Bush?
It was Obama first time.
I miss when that was like it. Like it was just mittens, you know? Because even mittens has been like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Like...
What I like about Mitt Romney is he's one of those like true conservatives. Not whatever the fuck is happening nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss when politics were boring.
Yeah.
When we
could argue about whether it was the president's fault or not that gas prices were high.
Yeah.
That was great. Missed that.
Well, on that note, you can check us out on our socials, TikTok, Facebook. I didn't forget TikTok this time. Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky. Not Twitter, though, because why, girls?
Fuck Twitter!
That's right. We're also on YouTube. If you ever want to, like, kind of watch this instead of listen to it, all you'll really get is a fancy little wave line. But if you like seeing that dance across the screen, you can do that. And then the pictures will also be up on the YouTube as well. If not, and you're just listening, you can find them on any social media. And while you're there, give us a little rating wherever you can. You can do that on our Facebook page as well as like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. A good rating or review really does go a long way. It helps people find us and all that jargon. If you have your own paranormal experiences or wholesome or funny moments, you can send those to us at TPIBOTE at outlook.com. Tippy boat. We be tipping the boat. But if they are paranormal experiences, put in the subject line there for Dalia. That's Dalia, no H. Don't get it twisted, no H. And then if they are wholesome or funny or whatever, send them to BEE, like the insect. I didn't say
not
buzz.
the bug.
I didn't say bug this time. Like the insect, like the buzz. And yeah, you may hear your story appear on the podcast, and wouldn't that be fun and great and cool? But yeah, honey, you want to take us home? Take us out?
I did it like 3 times.
I'll do it then. How about
that? B only got to do it once.
It's okay. Just say goodbye.
No, you know what? We'll make this a thing. Do it, B.
Oh no.
How about we all do it? Ready? 3,
2,
1.
This podcast was based on true events.